Well, welcome back to the Piney Woods Homestead, y'all. Today is going to be a cooking video. I've been out here priming tobacco. Some people get upset because we have a little bit of tobacco growing right here. I really don't care. Reminds me of my childhood, y'all. We grew tobacco in large scale when I was a child on the family farm. So we grew some just to grow it. It was supposed to put on a pretty flower, but it never did. We're going to do some cooking today, and I think I'll call it redneck cooking because I've been out here working in the yard. I'm nice and hot and sweaty, and Lisa says I pretty much look like a redneck anyway, so we'll call it redneck cookery. All right, let me show you what I'm preparing tonight. I've got some chicken thighs off of those Ranger chickens that we raised and processed and butchered right here on the homestead. I put them in a marinade today, real simple marinade. I'll explain that to you when we get ready to put them in the oven. I'm going to do some skillet green beans. These are blanched and frozen, either the Blaze or the Blue Lakes. I'm not sure. I think they're the Blaze. Real dark green bean. Got some of these Kennebec potatoes. We're still eating on fresh potatoes, y'all. We canned a bunch of them, but we kept a bunch of them fresh just so we could do stuff like this. We're going to do scallop potatoes, and it's really simple, and we love those things. And since we have fresh eggs, how about some deviled eggs? That is the perfect thing to accompany this supper. All right, after you have sliced up your potatoes a little over 1/4 inch thick, just layer them in there, and we're going to go ahead and hit them with some kosher salt, some black pepper, some crushed red pepper from our cayennes that we dried and ground, some garlic powder, and some parsley flakes. Now for the secret ingredient, lard that we rendered ourselves from our Hereford pigs when we processed. Put you a good helping in there. Then we're going to put a lid on it, put it on the stove, and start crisping it up. All right, these chicken thighs, bone-in chicken thighs. Let me explain the marinade to you real quick. All it is I took a small bowl, glass bowl, I put a little canola oil in there, probably a half a cup of apple cider vinegar, some parsley, garlic, onion, cayenne pepper, brown sugar, a couple of tablespoons of that, a little bit of Worcestershire sauce, and I just stirred that up real good, and it's been marinating for about 4 hours, if you can see the marinade in there. And that's going to make this baked chicken fantastic, y'all. Get it in a glass casserole. We're going to cook it in that. Big old chicken thighs. That looks pretty good already. Let's get it cooked. All right, 50 minutes at 400 degrees in the oven, in that casserole. Those thighs are going to be perfect. We'll go back in there and baste it as it's going because there's plenty of that marinade left in the pan. So about probably halfway through, I'll baste it a little bit, and you'll see a nice crispy golden chicken thigh when we're done. Now it's time to get on to the green beans. Lard once again in the cast iron pan, y'all. Fresh frozen green beans right into that cold pan. These are going to be fantastic. Now I don't measure anything, I just do it by eye. And a little trick, not a trick, a little addition. Okra is fantastic sauteed down with green beans. And this is a mixture of red burgundy, Star of David, and Clemson spineless. Same kind of setup, salt and pepper. Maybe a little garlic, maybe a little onion, maybe a little hot pepper too. Now, I kind of messed up my yolks a little bit, but I'm going to show you just a quick way that I make deviled eggs, y'all. I don't do anything by a recipe. I rarely measure, but by eye. I got some Duke's mayonnaise here. That's the kind we like down here the best. I just throw me a good gob of it in there. Good gob of that. We're going to put some of Lisa's homemade dill pickle relish in there. About that much. Some pepper. And a pinch of salt. And then all you got to do is mash it up. Pretty simple deviled egg. Nothing fancy. Redneck. But it works and it tastes good. After you mash it up good, gonna put it right back in these shells. Best we can. Like I said, this ain't nothing fancy. This is just country cooking. But it tastes good, even if it ain't pretty. Show y'all a little quick tip. Fresh eggs, they are hard to peel, but if you'll get you one of these little doodads like Lisa has, it's some kind of little steamer. It's got a little lid that comes off, and you pour just the right amount of water into it. These little things come with a little thing tells you if you want a hard boiled, medium, or soft. You put that much water in it, and it's got a little breaker on the back of that. Little tip. You put a little hole in the top of the egg and it keeps it from exploding. Ask me how I know that. It's because I exploded some until Lisa showed me how to use this thing. But it works great, y'all. We'll check on the chicken. Things will be coming together here in just a second. Alright, got about 20 minutes before supper's ready. Just waiting on that chicken at this point. Just got it basted. It is looking fantastic. But I want to show off Biscuit to you. That's that little chick that we hatched out, or not we, but Honey. Honey hatched it out this year. We've been wanting to let her hatch a chick, and I believe it's going to be a hen. But we named the chick Biscuit. So we got Honey Biscuit out here, Honey to mama, and Biscuit to baby. Let's see if I can see him down here and let y'all take a look. He's getting big. There's Rooster. I want you to see Biscuit. Look out, Rooster. Look out. There's Biscuit. Biscuit is pretty doggone fast, and the look of the tail feathers on the bird, I believe it's going to be a hen, which is good. We normally replace Rooster every year, but no big deal. He can go another year. Biscuit's cooking good though, and so is this chicken up here in the oven. So let me get back to that, and I'll show you guys the finished redneck supper that I didn't use any recipe or any measurements for, but it always seems to taste pretty good. All right, guys, here's the finished product. Put a little bit of shredded cheddar and what else did you have in there?
Mozzarella.
Mozzarella on the scalloped potatoes, and I just call them that because of the way I cut them. Got the marinated chicken that I did with fresh garlic, peppers, all kinds of stuff. You can go back and see apple cider vinegar. There's no recipe involved here. I can try to answer any comments you might have about ratios. And then the skillet green beans and okra, really good. And these deviled eggs, check that out. May not look great, but they're going to taste great. Let me have a taste of one of those first. And I like to eat a A whole one. Good and tangy. Good and tangy.
Which means they're extra tangy since you made them.
Have to so I can taste it.
I know.
Green beans and okra. Still crunchy. These scallop potatoes cooked in that hog lard. That's the only way to cook potatoes, is in hog lard. That is the only way to do it. And some of this here marinated chicken thigh is still cooking. So this is going to be nice and hot. It looks tasty, doesn't it?
It's steaming.
Let's see how it is. I can taste it. You're going to like the chicken.
Well, quit eating all of it, and so that I can eat and put the camera down.
All right, Lisa's turn to get to eat some supper. Guys, thanks for stopping in. Did a little bit of redneck cooking, and this is pretty much how I always cook. Guys, have a good day and a great week. Lord willing, and the creek don't rise too high. We will see you on the next one.